Hello, this is Deanna again from NAMI, Southwest Washington, and today we are going to work on registration options. So we have this family support group that we scheduled. When we click on this, it'll bring up all of our information here that we've already gone through. So what we care about right now is our registration information. So at the very bottom, there's this kind of tiny section here, registration, email settings, or branding. When you manage your attendees, this is the number of people who have registered. And on the far right here, you can view those people. Now, if they've registered, they would show up here, Jane Doe, registrant, janedoe@gmail.com, registration date, whenever. And then that's a quick way to see who's registered for your meeting. So we have several options here under registration options. On the far right, we're going to click edit. Now here's some options that we have on how to approve people. You can automatically approve them. This is what we do because whoever wants to come to the meeting can join. Manually approve. If you feel that you need to approve people before they even receive any information on how to join the meeting, I would click this. Now this is important for you as a support group facilitator or admin person. You can get a notification when someone registers. So right now we'll see that the email is actually sent to the Zoom Gmail account, but we can actually change that. So we'll get to that later. So we've got some questions here so that when people register, there are registration fields that you can have them fill out. Now for us, because of crisis situations, a really good idea should be required for us is a zip code and a phone number. Now you can require people to enter this information or they cannot join the meeting. So either you have to register with your last name, they can just put an initial and still get in. You can put your zip code as required, so then you'll know which zip code they're in. And if you want to, you can also require them to enter a phone number. In case of a crisis situation, you can have your co-host call their phone number. Hopefully they'll pick up. If not, you can at least be able to send a crisis number to their phone. You can text them, whatever you want to do. Just FYI, if you do not want people to know your phone number, you can dial *67 before dialing the number, and that will make your number come up anonymous or unknown as a caller ID on their phone. So we're going to do our custom questions here. You can enter whatever you want. Of course, there's this little saying here, you are prohibited from soliciting confidential personal information. No credit cards or social security numbers. Well, yes, of course. Ask the question, because we do track this information. Are you a veteran? I would require this. You don't have to, but because we do track it, I'm requiring it. Now you can have them enter a short answer, or you can give them the option of choosing an answer. So yes or no. Now I'm going to create this question, and it's going to show up number one. All right, so we're going to save all of our questions and registration information. So here now it says, yes, we'll send an email to the host. Yes, we'll close the registration after the meeting date. Yes, we'll show social share buttons on registration page. All this is totally fine. That way people can share the support group that they're going to with other people on Twitter or Facebook, whatever. You also want to close this registration after the meeting date. People can still join while the meeting is happening, but once the meeting is over, they cannot register for a meeting in the past. Good idea. So here's where we change this email for send an email to host. So in our email settings here on the second menu button, our email contact is Zoom4, right? Zoom4@NAMIWA.org. Now we can edit this contact. We're going to click edit on the far right. I'm going to enter, well, NAMI Southwest Washington is in charge of this meeting, and it's going to go to our general informational email, info@NAMISouthwestWA.org. Save. This does not change the email of the account. It only changes the email as the contact person for this meeting. If it's a recurring meeting, this will continue to be the email contact for every meeting. You can send yourself a preview email just to see what it looks like when you send a registration email to people. Branding. This is not necessarily something you need to use. However, if you would like to put a visual marker of which meeting you're in, that might be a good idea. So we're in our family support group here. Put my, only, might not let me. All right, there we go. So here's our logo. And you can see when we open our registration URL here that it actually shows up at the top here. So we know just visually, real fast, what meeting this is for. The topic is still here, Family Support Group, NAMI Southwest Washington, every Thursday from 2 to 3:30 for adults who have a loved one with a mental health diagnosis or challenges. Now, they can, as we went over while scheduling, they have to choose a meeting that they want to come to. Normally, it's probably going to be the one that's the first one in the list. So here are our questions. We have our first and last name, both required. Our email address is also required. And we also added the zip code and your phone number to be required. So our veteran question is here as well, yes or no. Okay, and I'm not a robot. Now, if I do not fill these out, it will tell me, hey, this field is required. You must fill this out before registering for this group. All right, so that is what a registration page looks like. And that's how you change all the options for your registration. If you have any questions, of course, you can email me at deanna.l@NAMISWWA. Thanks.